Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of 2019. All right, so a lot going on here this weekend astrologically, a lot of things to talk about. The most important thing is that we are starting to end the current lunar cycle. We're going to be having a new moon on Tuesday. So really good to maybe start to complete some things and finalize things from this previous lunar month. Now this weekend we have the moon in Virgo all 3 days, so really good for that pragmatism, things that require self-discipline, creating of that structure. But we also have Venus going over the Galactic Center and conjoining Jupiter, so there could be some transformations with our values, maybe with our relationships. Jupiter's going into Sagittarius as well, so things may be starting to expand with our perspectives and beliefs and adventurous side. And on Sunday, we do have Mars opposite up to Uranus. So there could be maybe some erratic energy, either from us or from our environment, that we can bring some extra attention to help keep everything nice and balanced with that. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this weekend. We're going to look at this for all 3 days here with the moon in Virgo on Friday and also on Saturday and Sunday. So Virgo is a very large constellation, and this is different from mainstream astrology. So if you do notice the signs are different in this system, be sure to check out that link down below for more information. All right, so let's take a look here at the moon's placement all weekend here in Virgo, the theme around that grounded energy of improvement. This was the energy of the previous couple months, really, with the last two lunar cycles. So again, maybe finalizing and completing some things that do involve maybe that routine, that structure, what requires self-discipline, and that improvement orientation. Really good to cultivate this side of ourselves here all weekend. Now, in terms of the aspects here, most of the aspects are concentrated around Saturday and Sunday. So on Friday, that will be the major theme, is that moon in Virgo. But once we start to get into Saturday, we first of all do have Venus and Jupiter now finalizing their path over the Galactic Center. So there could be some transformations with our values. Sometimes with this, there can be some old values we're releasing, and from that space, new perspectives of our values, and oftentimes with relationships as well. So there could be a bit of a transformation with the relationships. So what I always advocate for with the Galactic Center and deep planets like Pluto is non-attachment in order to allow for that change, and in this case, transformation. So great to be non-attached to our values, to relationships, maybe to some of the material values or resources as well, or the enjoyments of life. And in this way, it helps liberate us, helps us feel more healed and transformed as we get into the post-transformation going into next week. Now, we do have this conjunction with Venus and Jupiter going exact here on Sunday. So there is some buoyancy with all of this. Could be a really good weekend, particularly on Sunday, for after that transformation, maybe to see the bigger picture of our values and of our relationships. We could be feeling a bit inspired, open-minded here with these things. And from this, maybe some opportunities or some new beginnings starting to, again, come out of the post-transformative energy there with that. So great to expand those horizons with Jupiter and all those things relating to Venus. Now, both of these planets are shifting into Sagittarius, so from a larger sense as we get into next year, Jupiter in Sag is a much easier placement for him. Here in 2019, we had Jupiter going across Scorpio and Ophiuchus. And so now that he's passed over that galactic center, he's starting to make his way into a much more comfortable constellation of Sag. So going into the year, I think it's great to start to expand our beliefs and our perspectives to what's possible, be aware of our worldview, right? And see what are these beliefs that we may have. And in this way, see a bunch of different angles in terms of life and our life path, and maybe our philosophies or wisdom or our adventurous side, now starting to go through this more expansive process. And this was a more serious energy. We've had a lot of transformations and changes and a more realistic view of these perspectives with Saturn and Pluto here, particularly the past couple years. But now with Jupiter here, it's going to help kind of expand that fiery energy here a little bit. And of course, Venus going into Sag does favor more of that expansive or adventurous energy in relationships and, again, our values and enjoyments. All right, so that's definitely a very important thing going on this weekend. But we also do have on Sunday Mars opposite up to Uranus. So with this, Mars, the planet of our drives and needs, is in this sort of adversity to freedom and revolutionary Uranus. So there can sometimes be something within ourselves or sometimes in our environment that is inducing some change, that it can feel a little bit erratic or a little bit electrifying, sometimes nervous, this kind of electricity kind of energy. And so it's just good to be aware of this, to be aware of the side of ourselves that does maybe want some change, some progressiveness, some revolutionary energy, and to approach it with balance, right? To set the intention to maybe, yes, take some action and initiative, which is Mars, but in such a way that we are aware of, that natural tendency towards imbalance sometimes with the oppositions. So by doing it consciously, it makes it very, very constructive. So in that sense, great day on Sunday for maybe mixing some things up, trying things outside the box, and getting outside of our comfort zone a little bit when it comes to our actions and assertiveness. But again, with that conscious awareness. All right, everyone, so that's the weekend in a nutshell. I also do want to mention that the sun is slowly transitioning into Scorpio as we go into next week. So that's going to be the next lunar cycle. Again, we'll have that new moon on Tuesday. So a great time of completing things and letting the energies die down a bit as we approach Tuesday. But yeah, maybe starting to notice some shifts in terms of what we're focused on. Could be the deeper realms, could be things that are normally hidden. Does favor things like research, healing, transformation, self-empowerment, right? This kind of stuff. And so maybe good to start to segue into that as we prepare for that new moon in Scorpio here next week. All right, everyone. So hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all on Monday for the daily forecast. Take care.